Well, hello there, and welcome back to this F1 2017 Sauber career mode. We're at round 7 at Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. And the first thing we're going to do is listen to the voicemail before I talk about what's happened in the weekend so far. 17th in qualifying, I think that's pretty achievable. Practice sessions have gone well. We actually ended FP1 as the fastest driver, which is, yay, look at me, pop open the champagne. But we did do our lap time on the ultra soft tyres. Everyone else is on softs or supers, but we're still a couple of attempts quicker than Raikkonen. So we've got decent pace of an FP2 and FP3. We're sort of around the fringes of the top 10, which is where I'm sort of expecting to be in qualifying. The aim is Q2, but again, I want to get into Q3 if possible. So practice sessions have gone well, purple in everything, and also the R&D upgrade that we were due to have has successfully come in, and you can see here looking at the chassis, we are now the second best team in the chassis performance area, and we still have 2 major and a minor upgrade to go before we have the 3 ultimates, which will probably be done at the end of the season. So yeah, very, very nice. We've got 777 resource points, which means we do have enough money to get this bad boy done after the race, and if it does come in and Ferrari don't improve, then we may very well be the best team in the chassis development, which is really quite nice. Of course, after last time we got a sponsor bonus that's now being spent on that to make this 10% cheaper. We're a long way behind on the aero, but as you can see there is a lot to do, a lot of I think there's about 5 or 6 majors to do and a few ultimates as well. So we'll be chipping away at that probably into season 4, but probably after these 3 upgrades have been done, which I'm reckoning will be down by about maybe Hungary at the latest, then we'll move on to the powertrain. Not so much to do over here, although we do have, is that a major? It is. So we've got 4 majors and 2 ultimates, as well as I think 7 or 8 minors, and that hopefully will get us up probably around, I reckon once all these are in, maybe around where Force India are at the moment. So we're not going to be the best on the powertrain after it's all done, but anyway, it's still looking good. You can see the chassis there and the vehicle performance status is now almost halfway by the looks of it compared to the aero and the powertrain. As for the units and the gearbox, new gearbox, of course, we've done 6 races, so we're now into race 7, and here it is, 6% already after the 3 practice sessions, and we're still using the second units for everything, although they are now into the 30s and 40s. So this is probably the last time that I'll use these for qualifying in a race, and then move on to start using these in the practice sessions, because these are starting to get a bit on the thin side now, into the 60s and the 70s for most of them. So that is a little bit of a roundup of the practice sessions and how we're looking so far. I'll open the laptop again, shall I? We'll go to qualifying then. I won't show the highlights for Q1 or Q2 as long as we get through to them both, and yeah, hopefully we can get ourselves into Q3 for the 3rd race in a row. So there we go, everyone, comfortably through into Q2, set our laps at the very beginning of the session because there was rain expected around about half distance. On the super soft tyres as well, and only 2.5 tenths off of Vettel, so like I said, we've got good pace here this weekend. If we can sort of keep that up, then we may very well be knocking on the door of a very, very good grid position. We'll have to see what the weather's like going into Q2 and Q3, but if it is wet, I'm very confident that we can get through to the top 10. So yeah, Vettel, Bottas, Perez in 3rd place as well, Ocon in 4th. They've got good pace, and other people just a little bit off as they came out a little bit later in the session. Bottom 5 drivers then: Van Dorn, Stroll, Alonso, Kvyat and Palmer, which means that Massa and Pascal Wehrlein have managed to get through into Q2. Well done to Wehrlein, and I think that's his best qualifying I've seen of him so far, 14th place. So we'll advance to Q2 then. We'll have a look at the weather as well during the session, and try to play it right and get ourselves into Q3, the top 10 shootout. So here we are then, the end of Q2. It started off with intermediate weather, and then it changed onto the wets about halfway through. A few guys have managed to get their wet times in, but we've done the best. Well, I was going to say pole position, but it's the fastest time anyway, just over 2.5 tenths quicker than Hamilton. So if this rain keeps going into Q3, which I'm hoping it does, we may very well find ourselves near the very front of the field. So then, Hamilton is through, as well as Vettel, Perez, Bottas, Raikkonen, both the Red Bulls, Ocon and Grosjean as well in the Haas, which means eliminated is Massa in 15th, Wehrlein will be starting in 14th place, Hulkenberg and Renault 13th, Magnussen 12th and Sainz in 11th. So through to Q3 for the 3rd time in a row. Let's have a look at the weather and see if we can get ourselves near the very front of the field. So then, there's 4.5 minutes left of the session. It's going to be intermediates throughout. We haven't set a lap time yet. 23.1 is the time to try and beat. We were in a low 23, can't remember exactly what it was, but I think we've got an opportunity to get right near the very front of the field. So we'll go out the pits then, and we'll be able to, I think, do at least 2 time laps. And yeah, hopefully we can get right at the sharp end. So just coming out the pits now then on our out lap. It looks like with just under 3.5 minutes left, we will get 2 time runs in, which is nice. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm going for pole. I'm going for pole position. So then, final chicane. Nice exit. We will get 2 time laps. Let's go for pole. At the final chicane, we were fastest in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Are we about to take provisional pole? I think we are. Yes, look at that, by about 0.8 of a second. We're going to keep going though, just in case the guys behind improve, because the rain's now stopped. So we've got to keep pushing here. It's pole position by a full second. We've taken pole position. I'm pretty sure this is our first time we've started at the front of the field. Unless, have we done it before? No, Abu Dhabi at the end of season 1 we were second, weren't we? Yeah, this is the first time then we've legitimately taken pole position. Yes, I'm better in the wet than I am in the dry. Certainly the intermediates conditions, that's where I'm best. Wets I struggle a little bit, and dries, obviously, some of the teams are better. But we saw in Q1, I was the 5th fastest with the super soft tyres. There was only a couple of tenths off of the quickest time. So we do have legitimate pace in the dry as well, which is what the race is going to be. But we're going to be leading away from the field from pole position, which is fantastic. This could be the best chance we've ever had of getting our first win, and my god, I want my first win. So the resource points for qualifying, it's a shame that we're only going to get 105. It'd be nice if you get like an extra bonus as well for being pole or whatever, but oh, it's 102. I must have run wide at some point. Oh yeah, I think it was maybe in Q1 or something. I accidentally track extended a little bit. No, not Q1. Was it Q2? I can't remember one of them, but it literally gave me no time. But I still got a warning through, which is a bit of a shame. So 102 then. We're 1 point away from being able to afford a major upgrade. Quicker than Grosjean in qualifying. Yes, thank you very much. So we're now 6 points ahead, and we only need 5 more points to lock this challenge away. And the reputation level would have shot up with virtually all the teams apart from McLaren, because they're 100%. And so we've hit our targets there very nicely. So we'll listen to the voicemail and see what the target the team have set.
How are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
12th place. I think that's the highest I've ever seen a session goal be, 12th place before. But that would be okay because we're starting from pole. You can probably hear the excitement in my voice, but I tell you, my heart is thumping in my chest. I'm excited and also shitting myself, leading the field away from pole. But we've got good pace in the dry, so I'm not worried about that. I don't think there's anything else we need to look at. I'm not going to change bits. Oh, I could do. Oh, I could do. We are on pole. There's no penalty for changing bits. I'm so tempted to, just so we've got fresh bits for the race. This could be the best opportunity we've got. Shall we do it? Shall we do it? Shall we do it? We're going to do it. There's no penalty. So I'm going to change to unit number 3 purely because we're starting from pole position. I would have happily ran unit number 2 in the race if we were like, I don't know, somewhere in just Q3, like 6th or 7th. But yeah, we're going to start then with brand spanking new units. The gearbox is only at 7%. So then we're going to go to the race. We're going to see what the strategy is like. I believe it's going to be dry, and then we've got a difficult decision to make, what tyres we start on and what kind of tyre strategy I'm going to do, because we've got a free choice. I think it's a free choice. I'm not too sure because it was wet in Q2. So we'll go to the race and we'll have a look at the strategy screen.
Ready to go then. This is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Sauber in pole position then, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Sergio Perez, and Ocon, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Ricciardo, and Roman Grosjean. Sainz, Magnussen, Nico Hülkenberg, and Wehrlein, Massa, Palmer, Daniel Kvyat, and Fernando Alonso. Stroll and Stoffel Van Dorn completes the grid.
So then, here we go then. This is the race strategy screen. Underfueling the car is not something I want to do. Why is it telling me I can only have not so many laps? I want all of the laps. Oh, we can only have 2.2 extra laps worth of fuel. That is a shame. I'm not too sure why. Maybe I did a couple of the race strategy programs laps in lean mix, whatever. I don't know. Right, let's look at the strategy. We can change tyres. We can. I'm tempted to 2-stop it. It's 3 seconds a lap. It's 3 seconds slower, apparently. but it's going to give us a nice scope for the race. So I'm actually going to go for an aggressive 2-stop here. We did save tyres from qualifying, so I see no reason why we wouldn't have at least 2 sets of ultra soft tyres. Ultras, supers. It's going to be dry throughout. So yeah, that's it then. So we'll come out of that screen. Let's get the formation lap done and then start this race from pole position. I cannot wait to see what we can do. So leading the field away then. This is going to be fun. I am nervous. I am not going to lie. I am really nervous. We're halfway through season 3 and we've only had, I think, 4 podiums so far. And this is the best chance we've had of getting a win. I've got to keep it clean. So it looks like the rest of the cars are just about to line up on the grid. We need a clean start. I need to lead away to make this 2-stop strategy work. Here we go then. Holding the clutch, build up the revs. The Canadian Grand Prix from pole position is go. Come on, let's get down to turn 1 first. Here comes Vettel on the outside. I'm going to have to be aggressive. Oh, very aggressive. Can we hang it around the outside though? We need to lead. We need to lead. Move over. Block him. I don't care. P1. So coming over the grid hatchings to complete lap 1. We've got a nice little get over the tail. I've already put it into rich mix to try and get ourselves out of the DRS zone. Or DRS range, I should say, in a couple of laps' time. So then 3 laps completed, still running in rich mix. I don't think Vettel's in DRS range, he definitely isn't. And we're both pulling away from Bottas in 3rd because he's on the super soft. So I think me and Vettel are going to streak away a little bit here early on, which is fine. So coming over the line, start lap 7. Just focusing on going flat out really. That's what we've got to do in this race if we're going to make the 2-stop work. Vettel is now nearly 3 seconds back, and I think Bottas is almost 9 seconds back. So hopefully by the time they can pit stop around about the end of lap 10, we might filter back out. Oh, maybe close to Bottas, you never know. And the reason for the 2-stop strategy is because it's such a short time you spend in the pit lane, because obviously you come out the pits and immediately blast into turn 2. So it's not like, let's say, Silverstone, where the 2-stop strategy there just wouldn't work. You'd lose too much time. Here, there's not much of a difference, and I want to be able to push his tyres a lot harder, not have to worry about tyre wear. So he lost a second to both Vettel and Bottas that lap. I think the tyres are starting to go off a little bit, but I did make a mistake into the front. We're getting close to our first pit stop here, just a couple of laps away. So our 10 laps in the lead is shortly about to end. We're pitting at the end of this lap for another set of ultra soft tyres. I'm going aggressive here. But even at this stage, I think it's the wrong one. But we're going to go for it anyway. Just got to get the pit lane entrance right. Yeah, not bad. Right, in the pits then, hopefully we filter back out in a bit of clean air. And then we can push on with a new set of ultra soft tyres and hopefully try to catch up to this battle behind Bottas. Nice bit of clean air. 5th place as well. Oh, the VSC's out. Someone's retired somewhere, so it's an opportunity to try and save a little bit of extra fuel. Oh, someone up here is about to go very slowly into the pits. Look like they got tagged by someone ahead of them. Not too sure it was, but I think whoever's in 3rd place just tagged that slow car. And meanwhile, on lap 14, yeah, lap 14 just got a lot of front wing damage. We are catching up to the likes of Vettel and Bottas, so this strategy is actually working! We've just gone straight into the back of Ricciardo because of that Force India. And now we have heavy front wing damage. Oh no, I don't believe it. Oh, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Yeah, boxing this lap and we're going to have to change the front wing. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. So we're going to come in then, change the front wing. This is going to drop us well out of contention for the win, I think. So we're coming out of the pits in at least 9th place. Behind Perez, who's on the soft tyres. We've got different strategies out there, which is quite interesting. Try and move on Perez if we can into the hairpin. We can. Let's not tag the back of Palmer. But we'll have DRS, so she'll be able to fly past him relatively easy. There's Perez too far back. So we're going to go for it on Palmer then. Who pits anyway. That's put me off. Verstappen's in as well, up to 5th. Oh, yeah, the flags are out. Grosjean's at the race, that's our rival, so that helps. Fastest lap of the race, which is nice. And we've got the Force India ahead of us, it's actually a lap down. Cool, bloody hell. So I've got to push like the wind now. Ricciardo's 5th and about 4 seconds up the road. So unless these guys pit or have problems of their own, I think unfortunately we might be looking at a 6th place. Hamilton's just exiting the pits after his pit stop. He stayed ahead of us. And maybe I can stay with Hamilton for the next couple of laps and try and get me up to the back of Ricciardo. Raikkonen's made another pit stop. I think is his 2nd, so we are up to 5th. We're now in rich mix as well. We've managed to save a little bit underneath the BSC. I want to try and stick with Hamilton if I can, because now we're starting to catch Ricciardo. A podium is possibly on here now. Got DRS in the back of Ricciardo now. Might try something brave into turn 1. No, too far back. We're now just 6.2 seconds away from Bottas in the lead. Nice, made it stick. 4th place then. Oh, just seen at the corner my Pascal Wehrlein facing the wrong way. Oh, the safety car is out for it. So we've now caught the safety car field on lap 29. Not too sure when the safety car is going to come back in. I was tempted to pit, but we'd lose track position. So all we can do is save some fuel and then try to be a bit aggressive at the start. Vettel in 2nd is running the soft tyres. Hamilton we know is on fresh supers. Ricciardo behind me pitted the same lap as me, and just behind him is Raikkonen who pitted a few laps ago for a fresh set of supers. So there's different tyre strategies and different times people made pit stops. So we've got to try and get a bit aggressive and get ourselves back into the top 3. Well, that's helpful, isn't it? I just slowed down a little bit and Ricciardo overtook me, and then I tried to take the position back and it's saying no, you'll get a penalty. So thank you very fucking much, Codemasters. I'm now 5th. Palmer's at the race and we're losing touch with the guys ahead of us. And I've got very quick Raikkonen behind me, so I think we might end up in 6th. Oh, they're all going slowly. Look at this. If we can get past Ricciardo, we might have a chance at these guys. Ah, fuck you, Ricciardo. You took me under the safety car. Oh, a little bit of a love tap to Hamilton. Nice try and stay with these guys, because when they're battling, they're making each other slow. Meanwhile, Kimi behind's managed to get past Ricciardo. This is it then. 2 laps to go at the end of this. I think Vettel and Bottas are going to battle again. They might be slow coming out of the chicane. Gives us a chance. They are slow. Well, come on. Watch it, Vettel. Stop squeezing me into the wall. Up the inside with 3 wide. Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh, come on, car. Oh. The noise is coming out of my mouth. Vettel, fuck off, mate. Oh, I think we got wing damage. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check it in a minute. Vettel is still here. more contact. Oh, I think the Mercedes might have fucked off now. Now we can check to see if damage. Oh, it looks fine. Oh, the tyres are gone. And something else is wrong with the car, not too sure what. But it's understeering really badly, so I think all we've got to do now is just hold on to fourth if we can, because we know that Raikkonen behind is very quick on those relatively fresh supers. Ours are battered, they've done at least 2/3 of the race. Got to defend from Kimi now, down into the chicane. Oh, we're gonna... Oh, no! No way! I don't believe it! I can't believe it! I am in absolute shock and disbelief. We've been punted out the race by Raikkonen on the final corner, on the final lap. I have never experienced so much emotion in one race. That is probably... It's going to be full of highlights when I eventually get around to editing this. But I haven't got words. We were defending well from Raikkonen. We gave him the space around the outside. He bunny hopped over the high curb on the exit of the chicane and ran wide, and we had nowhere to go. Clipped him and into the wall. And the cheeky fucker still manages to get fourth. I just can't believe it. Starting pole, we've ended up not scoring any points because we've been taken out at the final corner. And we could have won the race as well if Vettel, the other Ferrari, didn't squeeze us into the pit wall. That last 4 laps is just absolutely mental. We could have won, we could have had a podium, and we've ended up not scoring anything. Hamilton's won. He's managed to get past Bottas at the end. Vettel managed to catch back up to take the final podium spot. That cheeky bastard Raikkonen is 4th. Perez was 5th. He had an engine issue as well, which tells you how much carnage was going on at the front because he was only 4 seconds off. Then it's the Red Bulls. Massa in 8th. They finally score some points for Williams after 3 stops. He did 3 pit stops and got 8th. That's just Canada, typical Canada race. It's a madness. Hulkenberg 9th and Magnussen in 10th, and then further down everyone else, and us at the bottom 18th. We don't even get classified. We don't even get classified, and I could have got out and pushed the car over the line. Started pole, 2 stops. We don't even get classified because we get crashed out in the final lap. Unbelievable. So we'll check the standings then. Not that I want to. Bottas, Vettel, Raikkonen stay where they are. Hamilton's up to 4th after that win. We stay 9th, but we could have had Ocon at least. Perez is a bit out of reach at the moment, but I think we can definitely get past Ocon eventually. Further down, Massa scored his first points and Williams of the season, so that jumps him up to 15th. In the Constructors, Mercedes take the lead over Ferrari thanks to their 1-2. Everyone else pretty much stays as they are, and McLaren still ahead of Williams because they scored their 8th place first. So yeah, I mean, that's just unbelievable scenes we've had in that race. And to go from pole to ending it like that, it's gut-wrenching. It really is. We deserved so much from that race. You know, making the second pit stop, we had to do that because Ricciardo braked in front of us and nothing just went right for us. It's such a shame. So the resource points were only 48. Oh God, that is just abysmal. The resource points in as the first driver bonus. We only get 4 for the race. It wasn't our fault. The rivalry update was still, look, we still smashed it over Grosjean because he failed to finish, so that's nice. Oh, it looks like we have been classified in 18th, but not that it matters to me. So we're 1 point away. We'll get that done next time out. The team approved. Really? Come on, guys. It's not my fault. I can't. Whatever, I don't care. And the career score, this will be great. If you watch the race, there's probably 50 points for that. Oh, 1,700. That's nice. Definitely over 10,000 thanks to our brilliant qualifying session. 17,660. So not bad in the end. Core competency, we've now completed the pit stop efficiency. That's 50 racing pit stops out of 50, 30% quicker, so that might halve it a little bit. And we've got a classic challenge as well, which will get me 1 step closer to an ultimate upgrade. Overtake challenge USA short, checkpoint challenge at Belgium. I quite like the checkpoint challenge one, to be honest. We've done both recently, so I'll do that one then. So we'll have a look at the old lappy top, and I'll change all the new bits after the next, like the power bits, all that, going back to old units. I'll do that in the next beginning of the next episode anyway. So then we've got one more minor and 2 majors. So we'll do this major. Very nice. Hopefully, if that comes in, it should jump as ahead of Ferrari. Not much else to do. We've only got 100 resource points. So I'll end the episode there then. Pretty much everything I've said about the race was just after it with the classification on the screen. As races go, I mean, I've had some what I've called entertaining races. That just had everything. We were leading. The strategy was looking okay. Not brilliant, but it was okay. Catching back up to the leaders. Then Perez's damaged his wing. I've worked out now was actually contacting with his teammate Ocon, who was trying to get back to the pits. And so he braked early into the next corner. Ricciardo did. I didn't realise he was going to break that much, damage my wing. Had to come in and change onto the super softs, creeping our way back through the field with some good overtakes and some fast laps. Then the safety car towards the end, and then the leaders came slow at the chicane, which I predicted. Went to go around the outside of all of them. Vettel moved over and squeezed us in the wall, and then we had to defend from Raikkonen at the end because he was a lot quicker. And he's made a mistake. Bunny hopped over the chicane. It's put his car out of sync and nudged us into the wall, and we've retired on the last corner of the last lap. I mean, to go from pole to have the race ending like that, it's just unbelievable. It really is. But that is the episode done then. It started off so well and it's ended like that. It's such a shame, but I'm sure that you'll agree this is probably one of the most entertaining episodes I've done so far. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon for the next one.